Chair, Mr. Hill, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. Madam Secretary, it's nice to have you back in the committee. We're grateful to have your expertise. Last time we were together, we talked about the subject that Chairman McHenry brought up, which is FSOC's recommendations on stable coins and the spot market, and I was very pleased to hear your testimony on that, reiterating that Congress does need to take action there, and I'm proud to have worked with the Chairman and my Democratic colleagues on bipartisan bills to do precisely that. With that said, Madam Secretary, as chair of FSOC, what have you done to encourage the SEC and the CFTC to work together in these areas to make these bills stronger and, cooperate together to make our work here in Congress go more smoothly? Have you had a meeting with the chairman of the SEC about stable coins and the digital assets regulatory framework?
Well, the President's Working Group on Financial Markets produced a report.
Yes, ma'am. We've read that report thoroughly. I'm talking about in recent months, since June and July last year, for example, when we marked up this bill in July. Have you worked with Chairman Benham or Chairman Gensler on this legislation? Have you talked to them about it?
I mean, I've talked to them often over the last couple of years about stable coins, and I'm not sure if I've talked with them over the last couple of months on this topic, but we've had many conversations.
Another area that I think Chairman Gensler has stumbled in is his proposal on custody, which the bank regulators like the Comptroller of the Currency and the Federal Reserve don't support. Many of us on this committee are concerned about that. Do you support the SEC's rule on custody as proposed?
We have had some concerns about how it would impact banks, and that's something have discussed with the chairman. Thank
you, Madam Secretary. Let me turn to the CFPB Director Chopra is suggesting that FSOC use for the first time ever Title VIII authority to address payment clearing and settlement activities. For example, he's proposed considering designating certain non-bank payment platforms as systemically important. Do you support that?
We've not taken a position on that. What I've said is that I think it's important for Congress to address this issue. We've made recommendations, and we think that is by far the preferred approach. And I've not looked into other alternatives. We stand ready to work on a bipartisan basis with you to take this on.
Thank you. Well, for example, would you agree with the director that peer-to-peer payment activity or non-bank peer-to-peer payments represent financial stability risks to the financial system overall? Zelle, Venmo, you think peer-to-peer payment systems present a financial stability risk to the system?
I don't believe that's something that FSOC has highlighted, and I
think the issue, I want you to reflect on that. I'd be happy to have your views in writing on that, but I think some FSOC members may not be viewing the designation of a non-bank activity as really a last resort, that we have regulatory systems and other rules to handle that, and I think this is a particular case. For example, do you think the Fed, having been the chair there, has sufficient expertise, knowledge, and supervisory authority to deal with companies in different industries, like asset managers or cloud providers or big tech companies, if they were to be designated under that sort of an idea?
I do want to make clear that there's nothing about FSOC's approach that places designation as a preferred approach. There are many tools and only certain situations in which it would be appropriate. Congress designated in Dodd-Frank that if a company whose material distress poses severe threats to financial stability, the Fed should be the regulator. And I certainly remember from my time there when several insurance companies had
Right, well,
designated
we'll
that the
talk-
Fed built substantial expertise to
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I
carry
yield back.
that out.